and welcome to Culers Forever TV. My name is Aaron MC and we will be going through the transfer roundup of the summer Barcelona had this summer. So yeah, let's get started. And so the first one was Junior Firpo to Leeds United, and then Emerson Royal went to Tottenham. I mean, Junior Firpo to Leeds, it's a good deal for him in general, and Barca got 15 million for him, and it's a decent deal. And yeah, Emerson to Tottenham. That is a funny story. Emerson to Tottenham, because Laporta, is he proving to be a fraud or anything like that? Because I can't understand that. I just can't. Because we bought him in this summer and we sold him this summer as well. You know, that doesn't make any sense. You know, how can we sign a player the same summer and we can sell a player the same summer? And Spurs paid 30 million for him, and even though Laporta said his release clause was 300 million, which is fun. And these are Emerson's. I think Emerson had an interview with, I don't know who it was, and this was a statement that he gave. I thought the club wanted me to stay. I played on Sunday as a starter. The next day I woke up and went to train quietly. That I already began to see that a lot of things were coming out. At Tottenham were talking to Barcelona that they had almost done it. I didn't understand anything about what was happening because I didn't know anything. In the afternoon, the club called me to go to the Cuadra Deportivo because they wanted to talk to me, and there I already found out that they wanted to sell me. I met the leaders of the club. They began to tell me that the club's situation was not good, that it was going through a difficult time, and it was better for them to sell. I repeated to them that my intention was to stay because I had the illusion of playing here and contributing things to Barcelona. I knew that if I was in my best shape, I was going to succeed here. I'm smart, and there came a time when I realized that they were telling me to go yes or yes. They were kicking me out with very good words. I have the ambition to play. I know that I am a footballer with a contract and I could say that I would stay. But I'm a person who wants to be happy. I don't want to stay in a club that I love but sad. I knew the thought was not for me to stay but for me to get out, so I decided to go. I told myself that I was not going to stay here sad. So basically, Barcelona kicked him out. The same summer we bought him from Real Betis, we sold him to Tottenham for 30 million. The funny thing is, Laporta said that his release clause was 300 million. 300 million. And he said he had a great future at Barcelona. So many years to come. And next week, we just sold him, just like that. And that's funny, because what are you trying to do? He said 300, then Tottenham gave 30. He was like, you know what, okay, I'm okay with that. That's bullshit. So yeah. And then Antoinne Griezmann to Atletico Madrid, which is a shambles, because honestly it's just a shambles. How can you, I mean, if we had done that deal before, even before, you know, in I don't know, July, August or something like that, Messi would have been here. For sure Messi would have been here. Laporta would say even if the pay cuts of those players is good, and even if Antoine Griezmann left before, Messi wouldn't have stayed here. But I think it's a lot of bullshit. I think Messi would have stayed. We would have had Lionel Messi at our club, and that's Laporta's fault. Laporta's fault. He didn't do this summer properly, and that's a disappointment. He also added that Griezmann does not fit into our system. He's not the player we need. Which is right, because Antoine Griezmann is a player who loves to play behind a striker, or behind two strikers respectively. He's not a Barcelona type of player. He's not that technical. He's a great player. Antoine Griezmann is a world-class player. There's no doubt about that. And his departure is a loss for Barcelona, without a shadow of a doubt, because at the end of the day, he was a Barcelona player and he was a first teamer. It's not like someone like Martin Braithwaite who came into the team like a week in out, you know. Griezmann was a first teamer. He played most of the games, and it's a disappointment that we sold him at the last day, in the deadline day, which is weird. I mean, how can you sell? I mean, if you had, last day of the window, it's just disappointment. And Messi to PSG. Lionel Messi. That's the worst. That is the worst. I remember Laporta, when he was elected as president, I remember Laporta saying, I will do whatever it takes for Messi to sign a new contract at Barcelona. And what just happened? He joined PSG for a free deal. Wow. Yeah, good work. And then you say the fact that La Liga was the fault. La Liga had its fault, which is yeah. And the Pjanic story, it's funny because for me it's funny. To Besiktas, it's a loan deal. I mean, Griezmann to Atletico Madrid, it's a loan deal as well. It's a loan deal with obligation to buy for 14 million euros, which is 1/3 of what we bought for him. We bought him for 120 million euros, to be reminded, right? And we are going to sell him for 40 million euros only after I think 2 years, because he has to play 50% of the matches Atletico Madrid play. So yeah, and it's a 1 year deal with one more year of extension like that. And then after 2 years, they have to buy. It's an obligation to buy for 14 million euros, which is shambles, because we could have done that before. We could have sold him for more money than that, and it's disappointing. It's absolutely disappointing what we did. The transfer of Griezmann is a shambles. It is a shambles. And Pjanic to Besiktas, personally, it's a good riddance, to be completely honest with you, because Pjanic is a world-class player, and people know that. He was world-class. He was one of the best deep-lying playmakers in the world when he was at UA. That I was pissed when we did the deal of Arthur Pjanic. Who does that? I mean, it's in the past anyway. Bartomeu, that asshole, did it. But it's been two years since that been done. But 23 for a 30-year-old. Yeah. It's a loan deal, and this is what Milan Pjanic told Marsa. Koeman disrespected me. He was never talking to me. I'm a player who can accept everything, but I would always like it to be explained to me, and not as if I was 15 years old. I agreed to lower my salary and join Besiktas because I love playing football. Yeah, footballers love playing football. That's usual. But the way Koeman treated him, yeah, that's a shambles. We leak like a. Nah, I don't know. With all due respect to Pjanic, in his point of view, he's a world-class player first of all, and Koeman shouldn't have disrespected him like that. Should have given him more chances, because if you're telling me that Sergio Busquets was absolutely world-class last year, then I have to stop you right there and say he was not. He was not world-class last season. He wasn't at all. So I don't know. He could have benched Busquets for some games and played Milan Pjanic. Of course he could have done that. Of course. Why not? It's not like Busquets is one of the best defensive midfielders in the world anymore. It's not. It's not when he was the best defensive, and players like Alex Song and all was on the bench, even though they were talented. But Busquets is not good enough anymore. We should buy a new defensive midfielder. That's my statement about it. But we could buy. Paul Pogba goes that free next season, right? And he's for free, and it's a great deal. Pogba for a free deal at Barcelona, a box-to-box midfielder, I would take him. But if I take him, if I'm Barcelona, if we take him, then there's a problem in there, because there's no defensive. We have to bench De Jong or Pedri, which is not acceptable. And the only thing that we can do, and I know Busquets cannot do this anymore because he's done. He's had a job for 90 minutes. He can't. He can do a job for 1 hour. Yeah, he can. but he can't do a job for what he used to do for 90 minutes because he can't do this anymore. And I would say we have to play Frankie de Jong in there because actually we bought him. I think sorry. At Ajax, he was a defensive midfielder, if you remember, when they reached the semi-finals of the Champions League. He was one of the best young defensive midfielders at that time. One of the best young talented players. He's not anymore young, but he was one of the most young players in the world at that time. He was one of the best talented midfielders at that time. We changed him to a box-to-box. And I know he thrived as a box-to-box. I know he is arguably one of the best box-to-box midfielders in the world. Not arguably, yes he is. But I should say that I think he would be the best defensive midfielder in the world if you play him there. I do believe that. And buy someone like Pogba and play with him, and it would be great. I honestly think like that. I think that's the right way to do. Yeah. And Jean-Claire Todibo went to OGC Nice. Not much to say. I think it's a good day for him as well. A young talented player who cannot get chance at Barcelona because of highly talented centre backs in our team, although we don't have. But about 10 million euros for the deal. Good. Again, some more money. We released some players. I don't know how much players. I think we released likes of what's his name, Hiroki Abe as well, and then a couple of other players we had before, yeah. And then Carlos Alina to Getafe, he's a great talent, and I wish him all the best because I always thought that Alina would be our future midfielder, but he did not get up to expectation, like all other Barcelona fans thought he would. He didn't, but I wish him all the best at Getafe, And Tringao to Wolves for a loan deal, which is not a surprise at all because at the end of the day, still, I wouldn't be surprised if Cristiano Ronaldo would go to Wolves at the end of his career. Now I know he's at United, but I won't be surprised because of the Wolves and Portuguese connection. It's just huge, it's just big. How many players do they have from Portugal? It's mental. And yeah, that's about the 8 transfer outgoings that happened this summer. And I will join later tomorrow maybe, I don't know, today, I don't think I will be there today. But yeah, thanks for watching, if anyone was watching. And yeah, we will be doing transfer incomings next show. And subscribe and share to others as well. And yeah, bye.